Hello again to everyone out there in the reach of my voice, to everyone who are watching and listening for the very first time. I want to remind you that if you are watching and listening and you are motivated, please subscribe and share and also like if you love the content. And also, I have big and great news for the family. Guess what? Since we have started promoting this network, it's less than 2 weeks and we have 52 subscribers and 493 viewers from all over the world. And I'm thankful, I'm grateful, and I'm excited, and I'm full with passion and more zeal to continue to share and share and share, because I know that someone else is out there to be motivated. Someone out there need a little push start. Someone out there need a little courage to get something done, to complete on their journey. And guess what? This is part 2 of Ended Up in the Shelter. And guess what? I am so excited right now to continue to tell you about that story. And guess what? That story is about no one else or nobody else but me, myself, Jermaine. Yes, your brother, Jermaine. It's all about me. And remember this, I don't know what challenges you are going through right now. You maybe you fail your exams. Maybe you're having problem in your marriage. Maybe you have just lost your job. I don't know what it is. I don't know what challenges, what testing, what circumstances you are going through today. I don't know what you are pressing your way through. But let me tell you something. I am here to remind you today that you can make it. And I will bring back the phrase to you. The darkest part of the night, it means morning soon light. All right? So guess what? Grab your coffee. Grab a cup of tea. Grab your favorite snack. Grab something nice. If you love ice cream, grab ice cream. If you love popcorn, grab a cup of popcorn or maybe a big bowl of popcorn. Sit, relax in front of your phone, your TV, your computer, your laptop, your iPad, whatever device it is. I don't care. But I want you to sit, relax, and listen to the rest of this story. Yes. So remember the last time in part 1, I was telling you that 2016 I came to the Big Apple. Yes, the Big Apple, New York, of course. New York. My first time coming here. And I told you that I met this guy, handsome guy, on Facebook, and we fall in love. And I told you that, all the nice things were going on, through our minds and through our emotions. And, he encourages me to come here to New York. He was the one who encourages me to come here to New York. The first time I came here to New York, it was that guy who encouraged me to come here because, he told me he was here alone. His family was all the way in South Carolina and he wants us to have a relationship, We like each other. And so, guys, I went along with the flow. I went along with the flow. And I gave up my job, as I told you. I gave up my apartment. I gave up everything I had in Idaho State. I booked my flight and I came here to New York. And when I came here to New York, guess what happened? Things did not work out the way we planned. Listen to me. When I came here, I had a wonderful wedding. I was able to say I do to a man, which was the dream of my life. From I was at high school, I dream of this wedding. I dream of saying I do to a guy. And it finally came true. But guess what? And this is the interesting part of the story. And let me tell you, did you know that people can change their minds in a split second? So you could make agreement with someone and have an agreement with them for 5 years, 1 year, 3 months, 4 months, 3 weeks, doesn't matter how long it is. And in a split second, in a split moment, those people change their mind on you. Sometimes family change their mind on you. Sometimes friends change their mind on you. Sometimes friends change plans on you. Sometimes your partner change plans on you. Sometimes your husband, your wife change plans on you. And let me tell you something. If you are not focused, if you are not strong, let me tell you something. You will go crazy. If you're not keeping your mind and your focus on the price, ha, if you are not keeping your mind and your focus on the price and where you really want to get, let me tell you something, guys, you will go crazy. But listen to this. Yes, after I got married, not even a week, my husband had a sudden change of mind about our future. And guess what happened? Guys, as I told you before, yes, my husband rejected me. Not even a year, not even a month, not even 2 months, not even 3 months, not even 6 months, guys. I'm talking about 1 week. And this is no makeup story. This is no fiction. This is true story I'm telling you about. And I am not ashamed to tell you guys. Yes, he rejected me in less than 2 weeks. And I end up in BRC shelter. As I told you guys. Now, when I went to BRC shelter, guys, it was not easy. Because many nights, as I told you, I could not sleep. Many nights I have to keep my eyes open because there were so many crazy things were going on in the shelter. And I will pick up where I told you that while in the shelter, you cannot sleep. You cannot stay in your sleeping area during the day if you don't have a job. You have to get up, you have to get ready, and you have to come out of the shelter, or you have to stay in the TV room, but you have no access to no sleeping area throughout the day. So a lot of people would stay in the sleeping area, would stay not the sleeping area, in the TV room. No, I refuse to do that because, as I told you guys, I am someone who loves to get up and get going because I always have a zeal and a passion to get things done. I am always on the go. So, let me tell you this. Every day while I was in the shelter, and listen, guys, I was in the shelter for over 6 months. Over 6 months. eating the same thing every day, over and over. It was a routine. But you know what? While I was in there, I gained so much experience. I learned so many things. I get stronger. Because you know what? I get up every day, I put on my clothes, and I was out there. I was looking for job, looking for job, looking for job. Because I have a zeal and I know where I was going. And listen to this. Every day as I would get out of that shelter, I didn't know that there were eyes watching me. There were people watching me. My case manager was watching me. My manager who assists me to get in the shelter, she was watching me over and over and over, and I didn't know that people were watching me, guys. Yes, guys. So right there in the shelter system, there were some good Samaritan. There were some good people who was observing Jermaine. And I didn't realize that there were people observing me each morning when I get up and have my shower, put on my clothes, have my breakfast, and then I was out and going, trying to get things done because I have a zeal and I know where I was going. In spite of the disappointment, I kept my eyes on the prize. I never, and let me tell you the important things about this. When my husband dished me, the first thing I did was to forgive him, friends. Family, listen to me. It is very important. Forgiveness is very important. The first thing you want to do when someone hurt you, or when someone misuse you, or when someone do something people assume as called horrible, the first thing you want to do is to find it in your heart to forgive those people, because that's the only way you're going to move on. Not forgiving, you are setting up a roadblock for yourself. And so the first thing I did was to forgive my partner. Forgave him instantly, immediately. I never hold grudge. I never said, why did you do this to me? I don't have any time for that, guys. I really didn't have time for that because I knew that that would take up too much of my time. So I forgave him instantly. And I start to think about what is the next step I'm going to take for my life. Not focusing my time or energy on him, because that was not my fault. That was not my problem. That was his problem. He has his part to deal with. He has his part to deal with. Mentally, emotionally, and physically, he has his part to deal with. Mentally, physically, emotionally, I have my part to deal with. And he could not fix my situation. And so I had to forgive him and move on. And so, as I said, I get up every day and I came out of that shelter looking for jobs, going different places, and having my mind focused on the price and not knowing that people were watching me. And this is what happened, guys. One morning I was walking out. I dressed up. I have on my nice clothes, my necklace, and all the things I love to wear with my nice hairstyle. And this was what happened. So while I was walking out, this particular lady who was watching me all along she was watching me. Yes, guys, every time I remember this part, guys, my heart melt. My heart melt. I just felt tears of joy. And let me tell you something. This is what I talk about when I talk about support system. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you yourself can't even identify the support systems that are out there that you need at the moment. But sometimes in your situation, the support system just come along. The people and the things that you are not expecting that would be support systems to you. They arrived unexpectedly. And I say this with much passion every time I talk about it. And this is what happened, guys. As I was walking out of the shelter that morning, I never forget this lady by the name of Rita Johnson. She stopped me and she said to me, she said, you know what? I admired you. I admire you because you are the only person I see get up out of this shelter. You don't even look as if you're in a shelter. You look so professional. You look so decent. You're always on the go. And she said, why are you in here? That was what she asked. She said, why are you here, really? Guys, I didn't have any shame. A matter of fact, from I was a child, I have no shame. I'm not ashamed. I am never ashamed of nothing. Nothing at all. So I was not ashamed. I was not afraid. I was not ashamed, and I did not hesitate to told her my circumstances, my situation, why I was in the shelter. She sat right there in her office. I will never forget. And I told her from the beginning to the end. And when I finished, she looked at me and she said, no, no way. She said, you do not deserve this. She said, you deserve better. She said, young man, you deserve better. And she looked at me and she said, I am going to talk with my mom and I'm going to ask her if you can stay at our home. I smiled and I said, thank you so much. I walk off with much joy, with much anticipation. But you know what, guys? You know the secret? I never doubt her for 1 minute. I never had any doubt that tomorrow she's going to come back and tell me that, listen, my mom said you can stay at our home. Never had any doubt. Never. The moment she said that to me, I have hope that I was going to come out of that shelter system. Because you know why? Guys, and let me tell you something. I know I'm talking to millions of people out there right now. And some of you right now are in the shelter system. And let me tell you something. The shelter system is not a pretty one. Because when you go in the shelter, you have all type of people in the shelter system. You have people who end up losing their apartment. People who are very hardworking people. You have people who just leave prison, who spend 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, how many years in prison, committing all kind of murder, all kind of crimes, and end up in the shelter system because when they leave, they don't have anywhere to go but in the shelter. And then you have other people who are innocent, who are innocently charged for crimes that they didn't committed and were in prison for years and come out and don't have anyone to run to, and the only place they have to run to, like myself, end up in the shelter because I didn't have a home to go to in New York because it was my first time here in New York. So when you go in the shelter systems, all type of people. And let me tell you something. These were the things that happen in the shelter. You have people taking drugs. You see things that you never seen in your life. You go to the bathroom and when you look, people strapping the hand, taking the nigger, taking the drugs. You have all kind of things. You have people who want to sexually abuse you, sexually harass you. You understand? You have males in there because it happened to me. There were times when guys want to have sex with me, and when I refuse, They want to fight me. They want to abuse me. They want to do all kind of things. There were a particular time when one guy decided that he wanted to have sex with me, and when I refused, he he started pushing fight with me. Literally started to get physical with me. And guys, I had to call the police. And I just want to say thanks to the NYPD department in New York City, because they don't play. Guys, they don't play. And thumbs up to you guys, because I never forget your kindness when I call you guys that particular day. And I was not afraid to tell you what was going on. I told the police. When the police came, it was three of them. And when they came, I told them, I said, this particular guy in my dorm want to have sex with me more than one time. And when I refused, no, he wanna beat me. And so they did a good job. And immediately they came over. Not even 5 minutes, the cops were there. And they warned this guy. They said, listen, the next time he called us, we are coming for you. We are going to handcuff you. We are going to lock you up. So let me tell you something, guys. No matter the situation you find yourself in, never be afraid of defending yourself. So these are some of the crazy things that happened while I was in the shelter. But I will go back to say yes. The following day, Rita, she came to me and she said, my mom said to tell you, you are welcome at our home. And guys, let me tell you something. I was out. I was out of that shelter for good. And I went to that lady house, and Miss Johnson, she passed away in the pandemic, and she was over 100 years old. But I will never forget the kindness of her and her daughter, who was working in the shelter system at BRC. She came to my rescue, and I'm thankful. And I'm saying this, guys, listen, I'm saying this to you. Yes, I am saying this to you guys, because you know why? Many, many of you out there nationwide over the globe, we all have our own struggles. We all have our own downfall. We all have our own unexpected circumstances to face. But let me ask you one question, because listen now, I don't want to know what you are going through right now. You don't have to say it. You don't have to put it under the comment section. I don't want to know. But you know the reality is? The reality is, I know that right now, many of you out there are going through similar situation. You find yourself into similar unexpected circumstances, and you are wondering, what should I do? And you even asking yourself, why me? Why this have to happen to me? But what I want you to do, look on the brighter side. Remember the phrase, the darkest part of the night meant morning soon light. If you give up, you will not be successful. If you give up, you are bowing down to your circumstances. You are bowing down to the situation. You need to rise above the situation, rise above your circumstances, rise above this tribulation, rise above the impossible, and see the impossible as possible in your mind, in your thoughts. You know why? Everything that you want to accomplish in this life, every obstacles, every circumstances, every tribulation that you are facing right now, you have it in here. What it takes to make it, to pull through, to be victorious. Remember that you are not the victim, but you are the victor. And I say this, and the reason why I'm saying this to you, that listen, I have stories upon stories can share with you. When I was at high school, yes, I graduated with honors. And many people can attest to that because many people who have known were at my graduation. I graduated with honors. But guess what? I failed all my examination after graduation. When I got my examination result, exams that I was depending on, subjects I was depending on to start university or college, whatever you call it, I failed. When I went to my high school, when the result came out and I went to my high school to pick up the result, I remember you have to walk on a hill to get up to the school. After I collect the result, they were in an envelope. And when I reached into the town where I live, I said, I want to open this before I get home. I opened the envelope, and when I look at all the subjects I took, I failed all of them. All of them. When I said I didn't pass one, I failed all my examination. I was excited and ready to go to university. I was ready to go to college. But guys, I failed all my exams. When I look at them, you know what I did? I held them up and I said, God, because I'm a firm believer in the supernatural power. I believe there's a supernatural power, and I'm a firm believer. I have faith. And I held up those results. And I said, God, I'm not going to give up. I said, you know why this happened. You know why I failed these 5 examinations. Or 7 or 6, whatever it is. I don't remember how much. But I said, you know why. And I said, I am going to see the good out of this bad. I am going to see the good out of this bad. And guess what? I never gave up. I went back to evening classes while I was working. I sent back myself to school. I was working and going to evening class and taking 4 subjects first. 4 CXC. One time while working a full-time job. And I remember, I never forget my manager at Burger King. He looked at me when he found out I was going to school. He asked me one day, he said, how many subjects you are doing, Jermaine? And I said, I'm doing 4 CXC. He looked at me and said, what? Are you sure you can pass them? Because you're working full time. I look at him and I said, yes, I can do it. I believe I can pass all of them. And I will leave the rest for another time because I want to pick up that, guys. And what I was saying before, that I don't know what are your challenges, what mess, what situation you find yourself in, and you think it is so difficult. You think you will never get out of it. Just like when I spent 6 months in the shelter, and every day I get up and I was eager to leave. I want to come out because I know I didn't belong there. But at the same time, I know that I was there for a purpose, because I know God was molding me and preparing me for something greater to come. Guess what? I didn't run away from New York. No, I didn't. When my husband ditched me, I could pack my stuff and I could leave. I could run away. I could go back to Idaho State because Idaho State would welcome me with open arms because I know everybody there. I can get jobs there. I have a lot of friends there. I know many people there. Who did I know in New York? Nobody. Literally nobody. Right? But I did not run away. I face my circumstances because I know something good was going to come out of my unexpected circumstances. I know something great was about to come out of it. So guess what, guys? I didn't run. I stayed here. I wait. You know what happened? Some of us, we have no patience. Some of us don't want to wait. Some of us expect things to happen overnight. But it's not like that. I spoke to you guys about determination. What if I didn't have determination? What if I didn't have self-esteem, good self-esteem? What if I didn't have self-motivation? Many nights I didn't sleep. Many nights I went to my bed hoping that there weren't going to be another fight break out in the shelter. Oh my God! Many nights I went to my bed, couldn't sleep because every time there would be a fight, somebody would be getting at somebody. I went to my bed many nights hoping that someone would not break into my locker because those are the things that would happen in the shelter. For those of you guys who are in the shelter now, you know what I'm talking about. And you can attest to this. People break in your shelter, steal your stuff, and you can't do nothing about it. And the people who work there, there's nothing they can do either. Because it is just not safe. And it's only the grace and the mercy of God when you end up into the shelter that will keep you that and allow you to come back out in one piece. Because it is not safe any at all. That is why a lot of people who lose their apartment, they prefer to go and share with somebody. They prefer to go and stay in a hotel. Why you think a lot of people, when they lose their apartment and they cannot pay the rent, where they end up? Most of them end up staying with a friend. Or some of them, if they still have a job, they will stay at a hotel. Why you think a lot of people are on the street, guys? And people will pass and make assumption that, oh, they have so much shelter system in New York. But yet still, you have so much homeless people on the street. If they go in the shelter, God forbid, if they don't have a job, they cannot stay there. They cannot sleep in peace in the day because they cannot. They cannot. They have to get up. They have to come out. They have to stay in a TV room, or they just have to come out of the building and go somewhere until it's dinner time again, until it's bedtime again. And guys, I'm sharing this with you not for fame or popularity. I'm not looking popularity. I'm not looking fame. This network is here to build your faith, build your self-confidence, and to remind you that the situation that you find yourself in today, that you are not in it alone. There are a million people out there who are in the same situation or similar situation. You are no less than them. There are millions of people out there who are struggling, who are in the shelter system. They may not tell you. Just like myself, when I was there, I didn't tell anybody. Because, you know what? I didn't ask myself, why me? I know this have to happen for a reason. And I was looking at the most positive part of it. What is gonna come out of this? Because whenever time I find myself in a situation that society called bad, I don't really see it as bad. Because every circumstances, every situation that people call bad, I always see it as an opportunity to shine, to come out as pure gold. I'm telling you guys, most of the times I just laugh and I said, yes, another one. What is the good that is going to come out of this now? That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything negative to come out of it. I'm not looking for any downfall. I'm looking for something great to come out of the situation. Something good, something positive. Remember, it's something society call negative. And because I call it negative, I always looking for something positive to come out of that negativity. It all has to do with our mind. We have to keep our focus on the prize. Keep your focus and your direction and where you're going, and not the distractions around you. Because the distractions and the circumstances and all those situations, they are just there to test us, to break us, to mold us into what we are about to become. Into that great personality, into that great human being. And we have to be disciplined enough, patient enough to wait and see what is going to come out of it. So yes, guys, I did end up in the shelter system, but here I am today. And I know I'm speaking to somebody out there. You may not be in the shelter system, but you may be in another system. It could be a marital system. It could be your children's system. It could be your job system. It could be your friend's system. It could be family system. Whatever system it is a system. And you have to brace yourself to see what good is going to come out of it. Please, I'm begging you, do not focus on the negative part of the situation. Focus. Keep your eyes on Christ and keep positive and look for the end result, because the end result is always positive. And remember, guys, the darkest part of the night, and morning soon light. Please comment, share your views and comment, because when you do that, you are motivating others, you are encouraging others, and you're telling them that if I made it, you can make it too. And remember, if you are watching for the first time, wherever you are, please subscribe, share, and like. Share. Let us spread this message. Let us spread this story so the world can hear it. You may not be in the United States of America, you may not be in New York, but you're some other part of the world, and you're in some kind of system, some kind of situation right now, and you're wondering how you're going to pull through. Remember, that Jermaine is telling you today that you can make it because I made it. Bless you all. Thank you, and a big thank you again for watching. Have a wonderful day.